So we have some disturbing footage from a protest that you attended and that you covered. So can you tell us about what this protest was, what you observed, and then we can show the videos that you guys tweeted out, and we'll wind up showing at the very end the insane clip.
Yeah, sure. So this was the Global Strike for Gaza rally. So it was actually a pretty small protest at first until they started marching toward the Israeli embassy. That's when there was like a heavy police presence and all that stuff. And things just kind of got out of control pretty quickly.
Okay, great. So, I mean, that part isn't great. That's great that you're here to talk about it with us. First, we have a clip of a police officer, right, trying to steal several banners from protesters.
And NYPD is trying to usher protesters down the steps. It does not appear to be working right now. NYPD is trying to remove banners from protesters. I'm not sure what good that does when there are so many protesters in here.
What were people arrested for?
So there were 3 protesters that were arrested. The 2 protesters that were initially arrested, I didn't see them doing anything beforehand. And I think you can see in some of the videos, I think you're going to play, the first girl that I saw get arrested, like she was, a tiny young girl. I didn't see her doing anything. She was just kind of there.
Right, of course. So they had to do something. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this next clip, which shows pro-Israel Zionists attacking a pro-Palestinian protester.
Looks like someone is dropping ice or water or something from their balcony.
He a bitch. That nigga a bitch. That nigga.
So that's a guy with the Israeli flag. Okay.
Yeah, I actually did not see that on the ground. I didn't see that until, these videos came out yesterday. So when I was looking, to me, I looked up and went, oh, what are people throwing? It looks like a bunch of ice or something, or like someone had a drink and threw it off a balcony. I saw that. I saw some like nondescript garbage being thrown at people. This we didn't notice until, the videos that came out after.
Right.
So.
All right. So here's apparently feces and bleach were identified as thrown from the apartment. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking window, bro. Y'all go up there? Yo, y'all niggas gotta go up there, bro.
So this is so obviously they're encouraging the police to go up because they saw the person who threw the feces and bleach down. Okay.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't think people knew what it was, right? They just knew that there were things that someone was throwing objects from a balcony.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think everyone had just assumed it was water up until, John and I started hearing, actually, no, it was bleach. So I'm kind of surprised nobody got like really seriously injured by that. I know I got hit a little bit, but not much. So
you got hit by what?
Bleach. What ended up being bleach.
Wow.
Bro, y'all niggas, come on. Let's go.
Okay, so that is the bag of feces?
I guess so.
Okay,
yeah,
and it
got
hit
a great close up.
Yeah, and it hit the windshield. Okay. Car.
Above the Summit, New York building, apartment buildings, I believe. Yeah, they're dropping garbage on top of protesters.
Come down, you fucking asshole! Come down, you coward! Come down, you coward! Come down!
Looks like NYPD is grabbing people now.
Hold on.
All right, Jen and I are on the ground, and it's like there's a big conflict right now between NYPD and protesters. NYPD is telling protesters that he got hit with water too and is not crying like a baby.
Okay, so basically someone was complaining that they had been hit by water.
What ended up actually being bleach.
Okay, and the NYPD's response was, I got hit also, but I'm not crying like a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Super, super nice people.
Right. It looks like, according to Talia Jane, the journalist, a car parked outside the building was hit with a bag of feces, apparently had its window smashed by the impact. And the NYPD did nothing about it. And here's what we do know, though. Talia Jane tweets out, a man living in a luxury high-rise dumped bleach and feces on a pro-Palestine march passing by below his building yesterday in Midtown Manhattan. NYPD did not respond to the blatant attack, but they did soon after make arrests for standing in the street. Do you recognize him? So everyone take a look at this guy, see if you recognize him. They did arrest people for standing in the street, but they did not even do anything about a guy who had thrown what they found out was bleach and feces. But honestly, anyone throwing something, regardless of what it is, from a high-rise building, you probably should be looking into that because it can hurt people. Let's see. Now, this is, I guess, an update from the Summit building, the luxury. Can you click? So it says the Summit is investigating its resident who dumped feces on protesters from his balcony. And here's a photo, and you can see it. Can you click on that first one? So that's the bag he's throwing? Is it like a couple of bags?
It looks like dog bags.
Yeah, it looks like dog poop bags. Yeah.
Dog poop bags.
Yeah.
Wow, I would never do that. Come here, Bucky. Come here. I just want people to know I would never use your dog bags.
I had to take that off the screen. I don't want to give him any ideas.
Oh, yeah, good. Good idea, yeah. Needless to say, I mean, if this had been the reverse, if, let's just say, pro-Palestine people had thrown bags of feces, dog feces, most likely, but any kind of feces, and bleach from a high-rise balcony, something tells me that the police would not only investigate, but they would probably arrest the person.
Let me just add, Katie, the second image in that tweet we were just looking at is a statement from what appears to be the building.
Building, okay. Should we read that?
Which would imply to me they know who this person is.
Right.
I would think. Like, if they're the building and you've got those pictures.
Yes, exactly. They would, and yeah. So they write, we are aware of and deeply disturbed by an incident involving a resident at Summit in which inappropriate and unacceptable behavior occurred. Reminder, the inappropriate and unacceptable behavior was throwing bags of shit and bleach at the person. Okay. Let's hear what else they have to say. We want to be clear. This conduct does not reflect the values or standards of our community. The safety, dignity, and well-being of all our residents, guests, and staff are our highest priority. We are cooperating fully with the local authorities as they investigate the matter and are taking immediate internal action in accordance with our community guidelines and lease agreements. At Summit, we remain committed to fostering a respectful and inclusive environment for all. We recognize the right of residents to express themselves peacefully and respectfully, and we will continue to uphold that right while ensuring the health and safety of our community. Okay, that's interesting. But needless to say, again, if this was the role was reversed, not only would they have done something differently, but can you imagine like the wall-to-wall coverage? I mean, I only know about this because of Twitter.
Yeah, no, for sure. If this had been done by pro-Palestinian protesters, we would not hear the end of it. This would be, the news cycle for the next week or so. And NYPD didn't do anything to try to find out who this guy was. We saw in the video that one police officer basically told everyone to stop being a bitch and crying about getting hit with, again, what ended up being bleach. And, made no moves to go into that building and find out who was actually throwing that stuff.
We actually have we have footage of this happening. We have footage. This is again by Stop Arab Hate.
I would think that's easily assault.
Yeah.
Easily.
You'd think so. I hadn't seen that video before. That's crazy.
There's some more.
Oh my God, you can see it there, right? A piece of it?
Yeah.
Ew, that is so disgusting.
And
really
just
gross.
another thing to note, I noticed is whatever it was heavy enough and struck with enough force that I'm assuming that windshield wasn't broken before.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if the owner of that vehicle, if they had to file an insurance claim to get that windshield repaired, would they then have to find out who that person was? Like,
yeah, it's a good question
for those purposes. How is that cop not even looking up?
Maybe it's an inside job. I'm just kidding. I don't really think it was that.
Yeah, they seemed really uninterested in doing anything besides, getting the protesters onto the sidewalk or just like, dispersing the crowd in general.
Right.
And that's kind of crazy though too, seeing that video. I did not realize there was anyone in the car at the time the poop hit the windshield. So I mean, just based on that alone, you'd think that the NYPD would be interested in at least helping that guy.
No, I guess not. That's really insane.